like, well, that's mainly if you're ganking bot, or if you're becoming into it. Okay, wait, I think my mic is muted, so I'm just gonna completely restart. Sorry, alright, so Mastery Shyvana do pretty much the same thing. So Shyvana is basically a better version of Mastery, in my opinion. No, wait, I'll go back to make sure it's only on blue side, Spectate. So, you can gank all lanes here. Nasus is a good person to gank, because you and Renekton, because you gotta think, if you don't know where Renekton is, and you want to go for a gank, you gotta think, can I win the 2v2? Say, like, because your paths are going to be very similar, so you guys are going to end up on the same side of the map at the same time. And Renekton is better than Nasus early game, so if you gank top and Yi comes, you guys will win the 2v2. But say for mid lane, because Ryze is your scaling champion on your team. So if you guys get into a 2v2 mid lane, you will not win that 2v2. So early game, I would focus top lane. Maybe try to get, like, after you're, say, level 6, or if you ever see a free time when he's pushed up too far, it'd be a good time to gank them. Right here, everything looks pretty normal. It's just normal clears, no cheese. Oh, and if you were ever to gank bot lane, it will almost always be better to focus Teemo since he does not have a jump. Because Tristana W is a really big jump, so you'll basically never be able to kill her unless Morgana can land a bind. Just wanna, while you're farming, just watch the lanes, see what's going on. This is pretty much to be expected. It kind of sucks that he got hit by a snare, but he should be losing this lane because Lux is better early than Ryze. Top lane, Renekton should win because he's better early. And then bot lane, Sivir and Morgana should win because Sivir's a hard counter here. Okay. So this is a really good 1-for-1 for blue or red side because mid's missing this wave. And he died with flash up, so it might have just been a misplay by Ryze. But mechanical errors are something that just comes with time and you don't really want to focus on too much. It's more the decision to go for a play is what you want to focus on. Like, was it a good or a bad decision? Alright, so you notice Master Yi is top lane. It's up to Morg to land the bind. Okay, you got the flash. That's good. That's very good to pressure the other side of the map after you see Yi pressure top side. That's splitting the map and it's really good to do. your gank got the flash, got Morgana this kill. Just gotta auto attack. Okay. That's really good. You gotta be really careful here. Pretty low HP, we don't know where Master Yi is. So that's smart to come down this way. That Lux is looking for you. This is actually good for your side. That she's wasting this time. Because Lux wants to like pressure out her laner all the time. Ooh. This is a big mistake by Ryze right here. Ryze should never die to that. He should run this way and run up this way. Because he saw, yeah, you had vision right here. Nothing you can do there. That's just Ryze's mistake. That's a pretty good ward. The very safe decisions right there. Be a good time to recall. The reason I would recall here is because we haven't seen Master Yi in a while. So he might go for some cheese play on you at Shred here. So then it would be nice to be full health for the situation, but it looks like you're gonna get away with this set. And it's also another reason why I usually like to say leave the red buff up in this situation is because now you're using the red buff and it's like timing out while you're in base. So you can get more use out of it if you recall first, then go to red, and then you can have it more, or use it more. And it also would have tied it with your Krugs a little better too, because then you could have did Krugs then red, and have been a little bit more efficient. This gank's a little bit scary, because we don't know where Master Yi is, and you guys won't win the 2v2 if he comes, but you just one-shot him, so it worked out pretty good. Actually, maybe that was a good call. His flash is down too. So yeah, if you knew that his flash was down, then that's like a perfect call. I didn't notice his flash was down when I said I didn't like the call. So here, because you see Yi bot side, I would go up into his top side. Because you know Lux is probably around in here somewhere. And Ryze has complete priority, so you can completely take his jungle here. I don't think you'll ever be able to kill him here. Maybe you can. That gank didn't work out, but at least you damaged him and pressured him a little bit. Now this is kind of risky, because I'm pretty sure... Actually, never mind. I just thought Master Yi might be there a little faster, but I guess you did have this ward here, which is a really good ward. So that was actually probably a good call. And now that you had a couple good ganks, you can just do a full clear and reward yourself with those from those good ganks. But so far, I do think you're playing this game out pretty good. A couple of small things with like pathing. You probably could have got the Wraith Camp too, but that's pretty minor stuff. Go back a little bit. I'm not sure if this is risky or not. Alright, in this situation, because we know bot lane's dead, mid lane's kind of backed up here. So I think it would be better to run in through this side and go for this camp, because bot lane will be able to respond a lot faster, and you have the blast cone right here. This is a little bit risky because Lux could respond a lot faster than Ryze can to this camp with Master Yi. But if you go to this side, then bot lane will get there way faster, and you won't have to even worry about your stunna. So I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but it might work out for you. Alright, so it looks like it's gonna work for you. Alright, you see Master Yi there. You might be able to even dive bot lane. Assuming that they have stopwatches, which, yeah, Morgana has stopwatch, so she tanks first. And then stopwatches after a couple tower hits. But that would have to happen instantly before they started to roam. So right here, this play's basically over. That's pretty risky. I probably would have just accepted that this play was over and just warded up the dragon, farmed it up, and then maybe try to steal the dragon with your ult, and then or no, with blast cone. Let's try to steal it and then ult back over. But that's okay. So now I think the best way to path would be to start here and work your way up, since these camps will spawn for you as you're working your way up. Okay. So yeah, that's one thing I would work on, is trying to involve your Krug camp a little bit more. Or a little bit more efficiently. You'll definitely save a lot of time. Say you save 20 seconds every time you go to red before your Krugs. Then, if that happens 3 times, that's a whole minute you're saving. But otherwise, I think your pathing's pretty good. So now that there's going to be no dragon for a while, the next neutral objective to think about is Rift Herald. You know your top lane will have priority, since he's in a winning matchup. Soon it'll start to sway towards Nasus, but you still have him winning for a little while. And if your mid laner is ever dominating, like this game he's definitely not, he's having a rough game, so I wouldn't give him blue. But if your mid laner is like doing really well, then I would give this second blue over to your mid laner. And always before you... Okay, that's actually a pretty good ward. I like this ward right on the corner here a little bit more. Oh, and these pink wards, they don't see into bushes if they're beside the bush. Like, you'd always want to put the pink ward in like on the edge of the bush or something, so you can actually see it. And who has more items here? Okay, Master Yi will definitely win the 1v1, but you had Renekton to back you up. Ryze not reacting, so that's unfortunate for you guys. Could have made it a little easier, but you guys still pick it off. And that should be Rift Herald for you guys. Perfect. And now that you see this yellow marker, you and Renekton should move up together. Look for a 2v2 versus Master Yi and Nasus after Rift Herald. And make sure when you're coming out of the jungle, if you go for that play, to always run towards your winning lane. So that you run towards top lane. So it's a little bit of a miss out not going for that red buff, but it should be okay. So because you know that Master Yi's red buff's coming back up, you know he's topside. So any play going right here will become a 3v2. Good to run away. I like how you moved to the blast cone. I probably would have used the blast cone, but Renekton might be able to pick him up. Actually, I don't think he will. Oh wait. Okay. I thought Lux was gonna get there a little sooner. Alright, so the next objective would be coming up would be Dragon. So you're going to want to path towards Dragon, so you're going to want to start up here and move towards Dragon. Those Lux roams would really hurt Lex's team, because Ryze has got a free first tower. So instead of running mid here, I would definitely start top. Because you always want to think what your plan is going to be in the coming minutes. So you had time to clear towards it, but this looks like it's going to work out for you. It's just a little higher variance play. Worked out pretty good for you. Man, I do the... Oh wait. For some reason it always says Infernal Dragon. So what you could do, instead of going for this dragon, because it's just a cloud, is you can trade the cloud for a top tower. So I'd ward the dragon, and if they ever go for it, you can play around top and just get the top tower and trade it, and that'll be a trade up. don't think this is too risky. Oh, your server should have moved up with you guys. Alright, so fighting here would be pretty pointless. Because you're not going to get any objective out of it, even if you win. So it's basically an unnecessary risk. So in the future, I would definitely avoid playing on the side of the map with no objective. That was mainly your team's fault, but that was a really interesting flash by Morgana. But yeah, you see them bot lane. Maybe even before doing. Actually, no, doing blue's fine, probably. But because actually, maybe before you even clear this side, I would go and pressure top lane. But you can still probably get away with going and do that right now. So I'd ward right here. Perfect. Now you see that he's there. Lux is roaming again, gonna miss a wave. Ryze is doing the right thing by trying to just starve Master Yi. And now Sivir's gonna force somebody to come bot. So she should keep going. Because then if people don't respond from mid lane to go to bot lane, then Sivir just gets it for free, but because nobody's going here, Sivir should be careful. Okay, now she sees Tristana again. But people on this side of the map, like Master Yi, are missing. So good recall by Sivir. And that tower, it's gonna fall no matter what, basically. It actually probably would have been better for Sivir to run up and try to defend it instead of pressuring here, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Alright, so now bot and top should be switching for sure. Sivir should go top with Morgana. Ryze should be mid, Renekton bot, and then you play around top side. Because the next easy objective to get is the top tower. You always want to make sure you're getting the easiest stuff possible. You don't want to like take any unnecessary risks. So here your Sivir is kinda, she doesn't really know what to do. She should be topside. This Renekton's playing very well. He's a pretty good player. So when you're ADC is not really making the right calls. It does make it a lot tougher to actually like keep snowballing your lead. Kind of dragons coming up. Oh, it is another cloud. So I tried to do the same thing that I said earlier with trading the dragon for the top tower. Because that top tower really needs to die. This Baron is very risky. It should not work. I can't believe that worked. I gotta go back. I gotta see why this worked. Go further. Alright, so this is what you guys see when the Baron is called. I'm gonna go back a little further. I need to see if this is a scan, because I think this is just complete luck that this worked out. Yeah, it's completely luck. Alright, so normal games that should never work. But you guys got it. So after Baron, in a situation like this, you're gonna want to send Renekton bot lane, Ryze mid, everybody else top. Ryze will shove out mid, while Renekton's shoving bot, and then Ryze will roam up through here. Your support mid and you should all be warding up in here together, while Sivir's shoving out top. And then you guys will collapse into top lane, get the top tower, get this top tier 2, while you have all this warded, so you can see people rotating, and then you can look for a pick. And then eventually, because this wave's pushing out, because Ryze was pushing it, you can rotate to it and grab this tower too. And then Renekton will also be pushing here, so he'll eventually start hitting this tower. Nasus will have to respond to that. And then if ever a fight breaks out, Renekton will have his teleport up to teleport to you guys with your good wards that you have up here. And then it's the most effective way to use Baron is to have all the lanes pushing. But in this game, it looks like it's gonna be more of like a. I'm not really sure what to call this. I'd almost call this kind of like a waste of Baron almost. Your Sivir's macro has been very poor this whole game. But I mean, it happens sometimes. And that's something that you can't control, so I wouldn't worry about it. But one thing I would worry about is whenever you have Baron, to make sure you're pressuring something. So I wouldn't do like these are camps you want to like try to do if you're being pressured. But if you have Baron, then you want to be pressuring. But now that a couple people die, just kind of, this is like, if somebody were to die while you're like on the way to pressure something, then that's when you go do your own camps. Alright, so I'd definitely worry about that top tower. And if this game goes super late, I would probably have to give it to red side. This is a great game to be looking at though, because it's really close. Team definitely needs more scanners too. If you're playing versus Teemo, there should be 4 scanners, and then Sivir should have the blue orb. The map's pretty dark right now, so you don't really know what's going on. They could be anywhere. But the next objective to come up would be another dragon, which is the last dragon before Elder, because Elder spawns at 35. Takes 6 minutes for Elder to spawn. So 29 or later, that will be the last dragon. Good to play defensive here. Wait for your team to get back out on the map and start doing stuff. But yeah, definitely in future games, if you like, I guess you kinda can control Sivir's macro, or you can try to, and like, hey Sivir, you should like maybe try to pressure top with your support while Renekton goes bot. Because you guys definitely had a big like advantage there. But it just wasn't like correctly used. Yeah, I don't know what Master was doing there. So this is also a dragon you shouldn't like worry about. You should just try to go for that top tower.
Rampage. Aced.
Speed it up a little bit. These guys are all dead. I'll wait for you guys to spawn. Because they have free reign of Baron, which is kind of lucky that they aren't doing it. Said they might be now. I don't know. NASA's still there, so maybe they aren't. They definitely should have did Baron. They still could do it because your bot lane went bot later. Those are they're trying to do it, but not everybody was on the same page. So that ace should have been like a game-ending ace, but the enemy team didn't like macro it correctly, so you guys got away with it. And they're still in the game. But it does look pretty dire because you guys will get outscaled by Tristana and Nasus. So you guys do know Nasus is dead. You see one on the map, so there's potentially 3 people there. One word's pretty good. Could call the backup. Probably need to go look for a team fight mid. And I'd probably run from base because I would put money on it. There's shrooms all over your jungle. Let's go bind by Morg. Probably gonna run into a shroom like right now. Oh, nice. Ooh, that's gonna be a big ult. Alright, this is good. Very good. And the correct call would be... Oh damn. There's 2-man Baron. I guess that was a possibility. They'll only have 2 people with it, so it's not too bad. Alright, so you see bots pushing in pretty hard, so you know somebody has to respond to that. Probably be Nasus. So this play top's actually pretty safe. But they misplayed it. Got one shot. We're intention to save his CC for Sever's Boomerang. And if you guys are playing more as a unit, Master Chi's a lot less effective. Because Master Chi's really good at, like, small fights where he can't die fast enough. But if he gets CC'd in a team fight, he'll just instantly die. So overall, I'd say you played pretty well this game. There's a couple misses in like your pathing. You missed a couple camps that you could have stole, but overall it's pretty good. I'd also look to trade dragons that aren't as good, like Ocean and Cloud Drake for towers. But yeah, if you had a different top laner, because ranked in basically becomes useless after a certain amount of time. I know there are champions actually become like super useless on the enemy team.
Shut down.
So then you guys were kind of playing on a timer. So yeah, all the enemy has to do is group up, take all the inhibs, and then smother you with minions. The only thing you can do to try to come back is to hope that they mess up, basically at this point. I'm just gonna fast forward. Yeah, it was basically at the point where you guys actually, okay, they actually did mess up a little bit. But there's so many minions and stuff that it's too hard to come back from this. So I'm just gonna keep speeding it up. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna end the video.